Hello, people. Thank you for joining us again in our relationship series. I have two amazing people here with me. They will go ahead to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Paula Fonba, and I'm a student trying to become a physical therapist.
And my name is Tracy Magino Young, and I am a chef and a wife.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'll just go ahead to the question I have for you guys today.
Okay.
This channel is all about relationship, talking about health, wealth, and spirituality and career. So the question I have for you today, Sister Tracy, is to you first.
Okay.
I have number one is, what are the things that you think that should be put in place before getting married?
Before getting married, as a woman, I believe that you should build your house. You know, like when we were younger, we used to play house. We used to play with those dolls, and I believe that as you get older, that's something that you should put in place. Another thing is that develop a hunger for learning and growing, and always be open and pliable. And I think that's some of the things that you should put in place.
When you say build your house, what do you mean by building your house?
You should really structure yourself in a way that when you get into marriage, you should already know how you want your house to flow, how you're going to manage your house, because you don't want to just come into a marriage and just start figuring things out there. You should already have an idea of how you want your marriage to be, how you want to raise your children, how you and your husband want to work together and cohabit and do different things together. So just structuring your house and structuring your marriage in that way.
Okay, I
yes.
think you're trying to use a figurative word, because when you say build your house, I was thinking about a physical.
About a physical.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's just being figurative. So building your house means building your life, building your career, building your business, your home.
Yes.
To Paula, what are the things that you think every woman should look out for in a man before, saying I do?
Thank you for that question. So, number one thing I think you should look for in a man should be spiritual compatibility based on your channel and what you represent as a child of God. Yeah. So, I mean, for me as well, spiritual compatibility should be something which is very fundamental, because you can be let's say in a tribe, you can be of a same tribe, and then let's say you be in a tribe and then you get married to another tribe. So coming from the same tribe and then getting married to the same tribe is something which I think should be very fundamental when you're looking for someone to get married. And also a sense of vision, where the direction where the person is going to is something I think you should look for in a man. So
this issue of vision, I mean, during my last video, we're discussing about this vision of a thing. When you talk about vision, I know it's not generic. There are some generic part of vision and specific part of vision. Okay. When talking about vision, what do you really mean about a person having a vision?
Like when you look at it in the Bible, the prophets of old, they had visions, and they had a specific place where they were going to. Like Abraham, where God said, leave your home and go to this area. And you see Nehemiah, and you see Jonah. When God told him to go to Nineveh, he wanted to go somewhere else. So you see that every one of these last prophets had a vision for themselves. So what God has told you, has ordained you to do in this world, is what I'm talking about. And it might not be that because I'm trying to be a doctor and then my husband is a doctor. Your vision might not be the same thing, but the outcome of what you're going to achieve, is the vision I'm talking about.
Okay. I mean, what you said before concerning marrying your own tribe and your own, just made me to remember what Abraham told his servants when they were trying to look for someone for Isaac. Abraham specifically said, go to my kindred. Go to my kindred. When you are talking about, I believe when you're talking about tribe and your kin or kindred, is not necessarily talking about your family, like blood. Yeah. Just talking about people that have the same idea, the same culture, the same spiritual ideas and all that. Thank you for that question answer.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, thank you. And also, Tracy, I have second question for you. Can you just tell us in your own perspective, like the 3 top qualities that every woman should carry before saying I do?
Okay. So for me, before saying I do, what is one ideal woman in the Bible is the Proverbs 31 woman, and I really loved everything about her. And just to give you a backstory, like when I got into marriage, I felt like certain things that I was doing, I was kind of like, it was falling short. But when I realized, when you look back and go through things like that, it is that kind of ideal. And one thing, the 3 things, like, I believe like honor is number 1, right? Honor is something, because I believe that if you're a woman that is of honor, then you're able to honor your husband, and then that's really the crown on his head, right? And a lot of times, like in Proverbs 31, it says that when he goes to the gates, he's honored and people exalt him because of the woman that's behind the scene. And you can, they always say behind a great man is a great woman. And another thing is discretion. It's not everything you share with everyone, not everything that you want to tell, right? You have to be able to cover your husband, cover your home. Funny thing is that one of my children in Sunday school told me that his parents said, whatever happens in the family stays in the family. And I was like, that's really a good rule, because we have to have discretion and teach our children discretion. And the third thing I really think is just the sense of diligence, because as a woman in marriage, a lot of the work goes to you. Like your husband helps, but we're help meet. We're there to help our husbands and do things. There are a lot of things that my husband, he can do by himself, but he just wants help. He's like, and he appreciates it when I help, because he's like, oh, this can go fast. This goes faster. It's better when you're here with you. So it's just that diligence to be able to work and to be able to be there. And I think those are the 3 things to me that you should look out for before saying I do.
Okay, thank you. You just mentioned something about discretion. So you said whatever happens in the family stays in the family. How about when like physical abuse, there are some things going on that maybe the lady or the man needs counseling on, and it can be provided within, like you can't, the man or the woman can't get solution without saying anything. So when do you know when to go outside? How do you know when to go outside to get wisdom or to be counseled? Because there are some things like I said, physical abuse. You can't just allow that to stay in there. So how do you manage things like that?
Actually, that's a great question, because I personally went through that, because a lot of times we feel like we can handle it on ourselves, but there's a book that it's called The Power of the Other, and it's talking about how you need other people. But one thing that I want to say is find someone that you can trust, someone that is spiritually mature, mentally mature, that you can trust, that is not going to go out and start telling your business, and speak to them about that situation, because you need to open up. I don't believe in, like, yes, there are certain things that, obviously, if my husband does something, or there's certain things that he does that maybe I don't really like, but I'm not going to go out and start complaining and telling everybody about my business. But when it's a situation like that, you need to be able to have someone that you're comfortable speaking about these situations with, because you never want anything to get way too out of hand without anyone knowing. So there has to be at least someone that you can trust enough to get counsel from, and that won't judge you and won't judge him, that's very open. And seek wise counsel. Okay.
Thank you so much. Just made me to remember Pastor Isaac. I think we're having one relationship seminar, and he said, don't trust a man. There's a way he said it. He said, don't trust a man when the man doesn't have a mentor. I think he said like 3. At least have someone like a mentor, like a father, someone that you can reach out, someone that your spouse or your wife, the person that you are going out with, they can call, oh, this person is misbehaving. So when I was trying to get into a relationship, I had to have these people were in place that if I misbehave now, my wife know who to call, and they'll just call me. Because I mean, when I see their code, there's people they will call me. When I see their code,
You're like,
what have I done today? Sometime ago, someone just, I want to see you. Then I just went, I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? So having those people, those mentors, I mean, that are mature, like you said, spiritually matured and mentally mature without putting your business out there, I think it's very key. It will save you a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of crying, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And lastly, as a lady, I want to ask, as a lady, can you go into a relationship with someone that already has a child?
Yeah, actually.
And how do you handle that
situation? In this day and age, especially, well, my husband had a child before marriage, so a lot of times I was kind of second guessing. But as you get to know this person, and I believe that you don't count anybody out, right? Because you never know who's for you, and we're in. My belief is that we're in always, when you go into marriage, you're going into marriage for a God ordained purpose. Yeah. And if God has ordained someone for you, and that's the person for you, you cannot just look at some of the flaws and everything like that. For me, it was tough. But having to go to God and trusting and believing Him to be able to walk me through that process and be able to see, and I personally believe that for me it was more of a judgmental thing, that people would look at me and judge me for that, not even judge him, right? So being able to look past that and understand what is the purpose for marriage, what is the purpose that you're going into this marriage with, and what is the purpose and who is this person that you're going into marriage with. And because you have to understand that when you're getting married, that there's a lot of people attached to the destiny of your marriage, and there's a lot of people that will be impacted by your marriage. So you cannot make rash decisions based on just your personal emotions, because that's not how God works. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. How about you, Sister Paula? And can you, what are the red flags to watch out for during courtship? As a single lady, yeah.
So I think one of the really prominent one for me is inconsistency.
So when you say inconsistency, what do you mean?
Just say hello.
I mean, you gotta be consistent, because even the Bible, as Christians, coming from where we're coming from the kingdom we're coming from, as Christians, everything, there's a standard for everybody. So if you call yourself a Christian, and you really like this person and you're dating this person, I think there should be a level of consistency in what you're doing and your actions and everything. You have to be consistent, because the Bible says Jesus is the same today, yesterday, and forevermore. So if you're trying to be like Jesus, I'm not saying you're Jesus, but if you're trying to be like Jesus, you have to be consistent, because it's a standard. I'll be watching, it's a standard that you have to follow. And I'm not saying it's one principle for all, but you have to, there are certain things that as a Christian or as someone who is interested in somebody, there are certain things that you have to do consistently, because inconsistency is not I'm sorry. So that's the prominent one, I think.
Okay, so just inconsistency.
I mean, inconsistency is one of it, but I think the other ones, you have to take care of yourself,
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, take care of yourself.
Take care of your, how do you
for example, you need to look sharp.
Oh,
you don't have to have big belly or something. You have to
go to
exercise, try to get yourself together, and and then also trying to be peaceful, be kind to one another,
Oh, okay.
because someone who is not peaceful, or someone who is very quick to anger, that's a really, because
it's a big red flag.
It's
anger,
a big red flag,
anger.
because I need to see when you're angry, bro, because I don't want you to take a knife and follow me or something.
Okay, thank you. In running up this video, Sister Tracy, what are the maybe a little one advice that you can give to a single person watching us right now? A single person, or maybe a single mom, or a lady that is not single. Sorry, a lady that is single, but the person that is asking her out is someone that has a child. So what advice will you give that kind of person? Because like you said, there's like a stereotypes that single, if she's a single mom, it's difficult for them. So what kind of advice will you give in that situation?
Okay, so first for anybody that's single and looking to get married, one thing I would say is personal development is key. Read and study, because especially about develop yourself and also read books about marriage. Try to get getting into that relationship. And if you're a single woman that has a child, just know that your journey is not finished yet. God is not finished with you yet. There's definitely somebody out there for you. Love yourself, love your child, and just carry yourself with a lot of grace and a lot of beauty. And again, I will reiterate, just personal development, self-development is key. And my favorite thing is, like, reading is fundamental. Whatever you're trying to do to learn, to grow and change, and also be pliable. Open your mind and be able to change, and not just be able to say, oh, this is who I am, this is how I am, and I'm going to stay that way. Sure. Be able to be dynamic in who you are, and I know that God will bless you with a man.
Okay, thank you so much. That will bring us to the end of this episode. We'll see you in our next episode.